A very good evening and welcome to UBC News Tonight. Today on the 21st of August 2026. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Today in our top stories on Thursday, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, retired 19 high-ranking UPDF general officers in a ceremony held at State House in Entebbe. Among the retirees was one of the most senior and prominent figure, General Edward Katumba Wamala. Tonight we take a close look at the President's tribute to the decorated General Katumba Wamala, who has been soldiering for the last 47 years. Details follow from Haruna Mtesa Asida.
No. 19 high-ranking UPDF general officers on Thursday were officially retired from active military service at a ceremony held at State House Entebbe. General Katumba Wamala is the most senior among the 19 retired generals with a distinguished career in military command. RO 01392, General Katumba Wamala was born on 19th November 1956 in Ibweza village, Kalangala district.
His record of service in the military, police and government reflects a career characterized by leadership, professionalism, resilience, commitment to national duty.
He joined the army in 1979 and was commissioned second lieutenant on 19th July 1980. Between 1983 to 1984, he served as an instructor at the School of Infantry in Jinja.
As the last serving officer from Officer Cadet Intake 17 Long Munduli, I'm the last standing officer of that Intake 17 Long. Intake 17 Long was recruited by His Excellency the President when he was the Minister of Defense after the fall of Idi Amin. Your Excellency, I'm your recruit. I benefited from your call when you made a very passionate call for people who have a good education to join the army.
From 1985 to 1987, he was the aide-de-camp to the command of the National Resistance Army. He served as aide-de-camp to the Chief of Staff of Uganda National Liberation Army. In his speech, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni paid his tribute to the decorated 4-star general for his unwavering contribution in the army since 1979.
For the big contribution they made to the UPDF. UPDF and NRM have been able to build security in Uganda because of a number of factors.
General Katumba Wamala commanded and participated in major security operations both within Uganda and abroad. He served as commander of the land forces and was the contingent commander of UPDF troops in Mogadishu in 2007. In 2017, General Katumba Wamala was appointed the Chief of Defense Forces, the highest office in the UPDF.
I think I'm one of the few who have had that kind of, let's say, moving from uniform to public life, back to uniform, back to public life, and I'm highly grateful, Your Excellency, because that exposure has made a lot of difference in my life.
He made significant contribution to national security and to the international peace stabilization missions. The President also credited Katumba for saving the life of General Salim Saleh during an operation in Moroto.
So I want to congratulate the officers, the generals who are retired, because I know all of them. I can go one by one and know what each one did General Katumba, he didn't come to the bush, he didn't go to the bush, but he stayed in Moroto, and he's the one who helped Sario to escape. And I think also the other officer who died, Ruberez, and Katumba was liaising with a girl called Dora Tess.
From command to retirement, General Katumba Amala's career, that spanned nearly for 5 decades, comes to an honorable end. 47 years of service and the beginning of a new and productive chapter for the retired General Katumba Amala. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Enterprise Corporation, NEC, Lieutenant General James Mujira, has paid personal tribute to his comrade friend, Lieutenant General Charles Otema Awani, speaking what many didn't know about General Otema since 1986. Reflecting on a 4-decade journey together in the Army, Lieutenant General Mujira recounts their service across numerous operational areas, including the counter-insurgency campaign against the Lord's Resistance Army in northern Uganda and the Garamba operations in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He commended Lieutenant General Otema's outstanding contribution to the counter-insurgency operations in northern Uganda and his dedicated service to the UPDF.
I have known Lieutenant General Charles Otema Awani, Radit, for I think the last 40 years, since 1986. We first met when he was in the Department of Transport, in the General Headquarters here. I was already serving in the Intelligence Department. 1987, I was the Intelligence Officer of the 79 Battalion, which was the one responsible for marine operations. And Otema had a very close friend, the late Brigadier Patrick Kanjurho. He even became his best man when he late Kanjurho wedded. So Kanjurho at that time was our admin officer. And that's when I came to know General Otema. And from that time, we became friends. We worked together, especially when he joined the intelligence as the operation, it was called OIC, Overall Intelligence Coordinator of the operations in northern Uganda against the LRA. Later, as the 4th Division Commander, and in Congo, in the DRC, Operation Lightning Thunder, in Garamba, we were always together. We were together in many places, in Garamba, in Bungu, in Yambio, in Inzara, in Obo, in Yaringa, all those areas. I was always with General Otema. We had our tents, and my tent was always next to his in those operation areas. I remember when we attacked Garamba, we moved together in all the camps of the Lord's Resistance Army. Camp Swahili, Camp Obo, Camp Eskimo, and there is even a photo which I saw recently when we toured Camp Eskimo after it had been taken over by the UPDF. So I have really worked with him closely. At a personal level, he has been a personal friend. He's been to my home, both here and up country. He knew my parents. I've been to his home, here and up country. So even at a personal level, we've been very close. Otema is a giant in all ways, a giant in size, giant in command, a giant in... he's a very social friend. He's very decisive. When he takes a decision, he really means it and he will reinforce it. Otema participated, you cannot talk about the counter-insurgency operations in the north without mentioning the name of General Otema. General Otema is synonymous with the counter-insurgency operations against the Lord's Resistance Army.
All is set for the 2026 Tusker Rwenzori Marathon, with more than 8,000 runners converging in Kasese for a race that blends sport with tourism. The 41-kilometer runners will be flagged off at the equator, while participants in the other categories will take to the streets of Kasese town. Beyond the competition, the marathon offers runners and visitors a unique opportunity to experience the breathtaking landscapes, culture and tourism attractions of the Rwenzori region, making it more than just a race but a celebration of sport and tourism. Ngabo Amon is camped in Kasese and brings us the details.
If you're thinking for a place to be right now, there's no any other place than the town called Kasese. Hundreds, thousands of people from all walks of life are here in Kasese to witness the Tusker Rwenzori Marathon that takes place tomorrow here in Kasese town. Well, so far close to 8,000 runners have registered for this run, and they are going to compete in the 41 kilometers, 10 kilometers and the 5-kilometer race. I can tell you there is no any other race that has prizes like the Rwenzori Marathon. 40 million shillings for the men's winner and 40 for the women's winner. No any other that has such prizes. Well, the difference that makes this marathon to be very unique from the usual ones that you know, it embeds with the culture, not only culture but also tourism. Well, Kasese being surrounded by 4 national parks gives you the picture that everyone would look out to come and see what takes place here.
All eyes globally will be on the Rwenzori Marathon. World Athletics will be only featuring, I think, about 3 other international events, and the Rwenzori Marathon this year has come of age because we are actually getting this international accolades and recognition that we've been, thriving to get, that other marathons are yet to get on the continent. So it's very exciting that in the Rift Valley, in the southwestern part of Uganda, we can actually give birth to a product that is going to become a signature marathon on the African calendar. So this is the year that all roads lead to Kasese. Very exciting for us in tourism because we've been talking about product diversification. We've been talking about creating products that augment, supplement our wildlife, our landscape. And I can't think of a better product than the marathon because it's running through the foot of the Mount Rwenzori, the mountains of the moon. So we talk about the beautiful snow-capped Rwenzori.
So today, this campaign of zebra crossings, we are doing more than 8 zebra crossings around Kasese today. Okay. And we are not stopping there. We want to try and be part of the community in reducing the road accidents.
The number of visitors that are coming to Kasese are growing, like I've said. But also, the visitors that come also require better facilities, which would mean that we need to increase on the number of hotel rooms, but also to put up better facilities.
Can't leave this place before I take you through different tents to show you what other people are showcasing. I have a brother of mine here. How are you, sir?
Yes.
What are you exhibiting here?
Well, my name is Danny Chigundu. I am the head of public relations and marketing with Katara Lodge in Queen Elizabeth National Park, Rubirizi. Katara Lodge is found along the escarpment, and given its awesome views, when I speak of the escarpment, it means it oversees the park. Okay. So right now we are exhibiting because we feel like Rwenzori Marathon, not even just feel, we are confident that Rwenzori Marathon gives us a viewership of the audience, not just for international clients, but even for national clients.
I'm doing right now, I'm activating the athlete, preparing him for tomorrow. It is like a game changer. Okay. And most of them come with fatigue because of the longer distance. So for what I'm doing right now, I'm activating him for tomorrow, preparing him for tomorrow.
Okay. You're going to compete in which race?
I'm competing 42 kilometers.
42 kilometers has a prize money of 40 million.
Yeah, that's the bag I've come for.
Tell me, have you ever competed in any other race before?
Yes, I've ever competed in other race.
You're an elite runner?
Yeah, I'm an elite runner. We have been running in countries, Tanzania, Kenya. So this is just
What makes you think that you're going to win this particular race?
My preparation.
Tell me.
I was here by 10th and I've been passing through all the mountains of Kasese.
Wow, for more than a week.
For more than a week.
You've been in Kasese training.
Now I'm just refreshing, just final touches.
I can't wait to see your finishing time.
Yeah,
But all the best, all the best indeed. You're welcome. So basically you can see the elite runners are preparing, but also there are those who are just going to walk, have fun and enjoy. We can't wait for tomorrow when the race starts. For UBC TV, Ngabo Emon here in Kasese town.
Thank you so much, Emon Ngabo. You look like a walker, so we hope you do some running instead and reporting at the same time. Moving on from that, Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat Office of the President is working closely with Uganda National Council for Science and Technology to validate the science, technology and innovation policy. They will, among other things, drive industrialization, create high-level jobs and reduce dependency on imports. Details on this very story.
Science, technology and innovation are critical for Uganda to shift from a low-value raw material exporter into a modern knowledge-based economy. In order to achieve this, Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat under the Office of the President is working closely with Uganda National Council for Science and Technology to validate the science, technology and innovation policy.
It becomes important to have a comprehensive STI policy that will support the overall governance of science, technology and innovation in the country, rather than having fragmented efforts by different sectors in attempting to employ science, technology and innovation.
Now, if you see in the area of science, technology and innovation, there is a very old policy of 2009, which is currently outdated. There are so many things that have come in. There are new technologies that have come in. There are new emerging issues. There is a lot of, there is need to now utilize science to help us become an industrial country, to industrialize. And therefore we need a policy that is now in tandem with the existing challenges, the existing issues, so that we can realize socio-economic development in our country.
With the ever-growing population and the desire to create more jobs, the entity hopes will play a pivotal role in driving industrialization.
But we also still cognizant of the fact that it is still science that brings about the different prototypes that come as a result of the research. And these prototypes, if they are commercialized, they give birth to different industries that enhance creation of jobs, and in so doing support our entire socio-economic transformation. So it's important that we have an enabling policy that is comprehensive enough to look at all the different aspects of science, technology, but also asking ourselves, how do we commercialize the science and the technology? Because the developed countries, they have had an advantage over us because they are able to commercialize much of their science and technology.
According to the Uganda National Council for Science and Technology, the STI policy will also pave way for more funding for research by encouraging the private sector and other players.
4 young men have been remanded to Luzira prison over the alleged murder of Sports Club Villa Football Club captain David Owori. The suspects are facing charges of aggravated robbery and murder before the Machinde Chief Magistrate Court.
The 4 suspects appeared before Machinde Chief Magistrate Saraba Semira, who read charges to them, contained in 3 separate charge sheets. Those charged and remanded include 18-year-old David Ahumuza, Elvis Munguchi alias Sadiq Emmanuel Commander, aged 19 years, 20-year-old Francis Segawa, and 18-year-old Martin Lubega. Appearing before court, the 4 were charged with charges of aggravated robbery and murder before the Machinde Chief Magistrate's Court. Prosecution alleges that on August 4th, 2026, at Dubai Zone in Machinde Division, the 4 suspects, together with others still at large, robbed the sports club Villa captain David Owol of 2 mobile phones and a bag containing personal belongings.
You are charged with aggravated robbery on the 4th day of August 2026 at Dubai Zone, Machinde Division in the Kampala district. You robbed Owori David of his 2 mobile phones and a bag containing personal effects.
Prosecution further alleges that immediately before, during and after the robbery, the group caused the Owori's death. The suspects are also accused of robbing Congolese nation Dr. Jackson Obeni of an iPhone 11 Pro Max, $90 and other personal belongings, valued at over 100 million shillings.
Mabba Dr. Omben Jackson esimu ye ey'ekika kya iPhone 11 Pro Max nemumubako ensawo ye y'omu ngalo ng'erimu medical card ye, national identity card ye ey'e Congo.
The court added that Dr. Ombeni was allegedly struck with a paver during the said robbery. In the third charge sheet, David Ahumuza and Rafati Mugamba are separately charged with aggravated robbery involving Edlisa Mugisha, who was allegedly robbed of a Techno phone after being struck with a piece of wood. Since the court has no jurisdiction to handle such capital offences, they were all not allowed to take plea. Prosecution informed court that investigations are still ongoing and asked court for more time. With this, Magistrate Basemira remanded the accused to Luzira Government Prison until September 10, 2026, when they return to court as investigations continue. Meanwhile, the Anti-Corruption Magistrates Court in Kampala has charged Odoha Alex Batambuze, the Jinja City Senior Civil Engineer and Acting Building Control Officer, with 1 count of abuse of office.
On the 8th of December 2023, did an arbitrary act prejudicial to the interests of your employer by irregularly issuing a development permit to Kakaire Kirunda Ali to construct a boundary wall at plot 17B Tabingwa Road without following the prescribed procedures and getting the necessary approvals from the building committee, thereby causing the blocking of a community road. Have you understood? Is it true?
No.
Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nance Suga, UBC News.
In more stories tonight, the Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Ramadan Gobi, has held a meeting with accounting officers from government ministries, departments and agencies to assess the preparedness for the execution of the financial year 2026-2027 budget. The meeting focused on prudent management of public resources, adherence to budget priorities and timely implementation of government programs. Ivan Juko with the report.
As the new financial year gets underway, accounting officers have been reminded that effective budget execution is critical to translating government plans into tangible services for Ugandans. The engagement brought together accounting officers to discuss key requirements for the implementation of the financial year 2026-2027 budget and address challenges that could affect service delivery.
This year, we are starting to implement some of the critical policy and operational reforms. PSST has expounded on them, and these are meant to improve our commitment to service delivery. They include, among others, the Charter for Fiscal Responsibility that will see us from 26-27 to 20-30-31.
Permanent Secretary and Secretary to the President, Lucy Nachobe, called on accounting officers to take personal responsibility for the proper use of public resources.
Ladies and gentlemen, the implementation of the National Development Plan 4 and the realization of Uganda's socio-economic transformation agenda depend largely on how effectively public resources are managed. And every procurement undertaken, every contract supervised, every payment processed, and every project implemented contributes directly to achieving the government priorities.
Nachobe also urged them to work closely with their respective institutions to eliminate wastage, strengthen supervision, and ensure that government programs are implemented as planned.
Value for money must guide every expenditure decision. So allow me also to emphasize the importance of transparency and integrity in financial management. The fight against corruption remains a national priority. You have heard the President's cries. This Chisanja is a Chisanja for fighting corruption, is a Chisanja for no more sleeping.
PSST Ramadan Gobi stressed the importance of executing the financial year 2026-2027 budget in line with the approved priorities, warning against misuse and diversion of public funds.
No domestic arrears going forward. And we have made commitments as a ministry responsible for providing the money that we shall at all times release all of the money which have been budgeted for, and we have put it in our expenditure limit, and the accounting officer commits government. We shall be able to pay the invoices and on time.
He emphasized the need for timely procurement, proper financial reporting, and close monitoring of projects to ensure value for money.
Want any particular case, somebody to bring it up that I've delayed to release money because finance has not released the money. I want that particular entity. In most cases, there are excuses of those who have failed to do their work. Because, of course, to release money requires certain things to be done. You must prepare your warrants, what we call warrants, which define the amount of money and the purpose.
Gobi called on accounting officers to address bottlenecks affecting the implementation and ensure that government funds are released, committed, and utilized for the cause they were appropriated.
We have a number of projects in government which are not progressing well. They stall. When we studied these projects, we found that the number one cause of it is starting implementation when a project is not ready. There are no designs for the projects. If the designs are there, not costed, they don't have a right of way, no project readiness, no budget.
Government was buying, the different entities were buying, for example, a laptop, same specifications at different prices. This has been really unfair to government in many ways in terms of having leakages in government expenditure. But now the centralized, it is not centralized procurement, but the centralized determination of the specifications of this equipment and the prices or the price ranges is going to help us get fair pricing for government procurement.
Amaeva Njuko, reporting for UBC.
Judicial officers have been urged to embrace technology as a key tool in handling cybercrime and other technology-related disputes. The call was made by the Principal Judge, Lady Justice Jane Frances Ambodo, while closing a 3-day stakeholders engagement between the judiciary and the Uganda Communications Commission at Chigo. Details in this report.
The 3-day engagement brought together judicial officers, prosecutors and lawyers to enhance their understanding of communication-related disputes and emerging technological challenges. The training was organized by Judicial Training Institute with partnership with Uganda Communications Commission at Chigo. The stakeholders were taken through various aspects of communication law, emerging technologies, and the challenges associated with handling disputes, rising from the use and misuse of digital platforms.
So we were able to look at, for example, if you have evidence, how can you have that evidence on court record in such a way that its integrity can be relied upon? Now, that is really not for the judges to put together, because the judges, remember, somebody is coming to tell them, maybe my money was taken off my phone, yeah, and it is so and so who took the money. So because this is electronic evidence, you have to be able to demonstrate that the evidence that you have brought actually links it to the other person.
While closing the training, Principal Judge Lady Jane Francis Abodo expressed optimism that the knowledge acquired by the judicial officers would be put into practice.
Our courts must therefore understand technology not simply as a technical subject, but as an increasingly important dimension of administration of justice.
Abodo urged the judicial officers to embrace technology and remain open-minded, noting that technological advancement is inevitable and the justice system must keep pace. She also called for collective efforts among stakeholders in addressing communication, saying collaboration is essential in the increasing digital environment.
The answer must be through knowledge, through our vigilance, sound forensic practice, and continuous commitment to learning. That multidisciplinary engagement is particularly very important because digital evidence does not respect institutional boundaries.
Meanwhile, lawyers have also been urged to embrace artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies if they are to remain relevant in the increasing digital world. The call was made during the launch of the second edition of Tech Fest at the Uganda Law Society headquarters in Kampala.
So today we launched our annual Digital Transformation Festival, which will take place on the 17th and 18th, where we expect to have lawyers and other members of the public demonstrate innovation, paperless physical filing, and we're saying that as the legal profession we must adapt, we must move in trends because the digital transformation is taking over each and every aspect, including how we should practice the original, the traditional aspect, the traditional ways of practice have changed. Before, in fact, people are practicing criminal, for example, where people are from the back, they are looking for evidence of breaking, evidence of signatures that are full. But right now, people are moving money digitally.
The program will focus on artificial intelligence, innovation, ethics and inclusion, with the aim of equipping lawyers with skills required to navigate the changing digital landscape. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nance Subuga, UBC News.
Nabilatuk district leaders have called upon government to increase on water supply to reduce insecurity between pastoralists, communities and Uganda Wildlife Authority leaders led by the district chairperson Benedict Lokiru attribute the water current scarcity conflicts. Now this has been going on between UWA and the communities to the game reserve. This was during the handover of a 50 million litres valley tank in Kosike sub-county.
Kosike sub-county Nabilatuk district hosts a number of pastoralists from Nabilatuk, Napak and Amdat district who flock the area in search for water and pasture for their animals. Leaders and residents say this has become one of the hot spots for insecurity in the region.
There are cattle rustlers here. They can still, like taking cows up to the other place, they can even easily steal cows.
And we are here with a team of Ministry of Water and Environment to hand over this site for the construction of a valley tank of minimal capacity, not a big dam, but what the minimum.
Valley tank is 50 million liters. We also expect to develop sanitation facilities, that is the pit latrine, to increase, because communities are going to gather in this area when they are watering animals, so they need those facilities. And from there, the construction will itself take 8 months.
According to David Sendagire, the Nabilatuk district veterinary officer, livestock in the region contract a lot of diseases while on move.
We have in Kosike sub-county here, we have got over 20,000 heads of cattle, and at the moment they have moved far away from the district. So we expect a lot of diseases that may come when our animals come back.
Nabilatuk district chairperson Benedict Lokiru says once ready, the facility will reduce insecurity in the area and called on government to construct more dams.
Calling upon the Ministry of Water and the government to increase the number of dams for Nabilatuk district, especially other dams that are the size of Kobebe, That's at the size of our check in Apak, Kobebe is in Moroto. That will help us reduce conflict between Uganda Wildlife Authority and the communities.
Nabilatok District Water Engineer Charles Lokiru says government has over that time constructed water sources but suffered maintenance.
After these facilities are constructed, they handed over to the community to manage. But what happens later after 2, 3, 4 years? First of all, vandalism.
Insecurity in Karamoja is normally steered by fights over limited resources of pasture and water.
Officials from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions have first have questions from Parliament's Public Accounts Committee over the budgetary allocation for the financial year 2024-2025. The committee found that ODPP received more funds than it had requested, yet the additional funding was reportedly not included in the institution's work plans. Officials from ODPP had appeared before the committee to respond to queries raised in the Auditor General's report for the financial year 2024-25 financial year. Details for that.
Officials from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, led by Permanent Secretary Agnes Kainza-Nzogi, appeared before the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee Central to respond to queries raised in the Auditor General's report for the 2024-2025 financial year. However, the officials faced a difficult time explaining how funds received above the amount requested were utilized, with the committee questioning why the additional funds were not properly reflected in the institution's work plans.
Show us the money that this is what I budgeted for. In appropriation it is there, sir. In appropriation?
Yes. Chair, from what my peer is telling me, we had a budget. So we cleared what we were supposed to clear, but there was this one person with a quota award of 18 million. So we had a balance at the end of the financial year. So instead of returning it, we cleared, instead of carrying forward this 18 million of a quota award to the next financial year.
The officials were also questioned about staffing levels at the office of the ODPP. The Auditor General's report indicates that the institution was expected to have 516 state prosecutors. However, Permanent Secretary Agnes Kainza told the committee that the institution currently has only 428 prosecutors.
I was trying to look for where we did well. 8 stakeholder coordination meetings, we had 15. And then here there was a small variance here where we projected to handle 120 new general casework criminal cases for perusal. And we handled 116,000.
The Auditor General's report also shows that the ODPP spent 6.8 billion shillings on vehicles to support its operations, an expenditure of more than 40 billion shillings on the prosecution case management information system, which has reportedly not been operational since 2017.
Reported that in 2017, you paid 10.292,590,463 for this system to Graphic Systems Limited for supply and delivery of the software to 7 stations by 30th June 2017. You also reported that the Directorate subsequently spent an additional 15.896047,952 to cover the 41 stations. So the system is costing the people of Uganda about 40 billion. So that is the information I wanted to give your team. You're free to give me a different figure.
When asked about the number of vehicles purchased using the allocated funds, the officials failed to provide the committee with a satisfactory explanation.
Naye office eyo yaweebwa esente kugula emmotoka 40 mu mwaka gw'ebyensimbi guno n'egulako 32. Kati olwali tubadde tubakunyanga tugamba sente ziriwa, tukizudde nti miliyoni 600 n'ekintu tebazikozesa kugula mmotoka ate tezirina we zirabikira mu bitabo wonna. Era ndowooza awo tubaddewo ne kalumanywera.
Among other issues raised with the ODPP was the delay in investigating and prosecuting criminal cases, The delays have contributed to congestion of prisons across the country, raising concerns over the ability of Ugandans to access justice within a reasonable period.
Police told us, you have a very big role to play to make sure that these people's cases are brought before courts of justice and they are even given bail or are prosecuted. Unless you want to deny that that's not your role.
The committee directed the ODP officials to return next week to provide further clarifications on several outstanding issues, especially the vehicles purchased, the high number of suspects on remand, and other matters raised in the Auditor General's report. Rebecca Nantongo, Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.
Mami!
Wanje sabo.
Ugamotia. Wina kachi. Ha. Kagulinis take kagulinis. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Hemutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food, put more meat, add the meat. Yes. Hey. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial *165*5# to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
In Uganda, mornings don't begin with sunrise. They begin with courage. One man, one factory that has refused to stay silent. With one spark of courage, a chain of prosperity begins. When one Ugandan stands up, the nation moves. Pearl Bank. Grow. Prosper.
Alo.
Yes, mwami mukasa.
Mutyaneyo.
Yono broka.
Yenze broka wa mayumba.
Bangambye ne nyumba za mwenungiko.
Kituufu. Oyagala bisenge bimeka?
Nga bisatu.
Ebbeeyi bagigambye?
Bangambye saa 5.
Nedda 7 zaali nyabuuko.
Lwaki?
Anti langi gye tusiigisa ya mulembe. Anti ne value y'ekitundu yalinnya.
Musiigisa ki?
Global Paints.
Mutya.
Ku ceiling tukozesa Global Mat. Ate munda ne tukozesa Global Silk Vinyl.
Singa kwetaga wabweru.
Wabweru tukozesa Global Weather Coat Emulsion.
Kusiiga gye musiiga. Ogwo omutindo okusasulira sente zonna.
Guli wumite.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, MEMD, warns the public that fraudsters using fake social media accounts to solicit money while falsely claiming they can secure licenses, appointments with the Honourable Minister, or influence ministry decisions. Please note, you do not pay to meet the Honourable Minister or any Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development officials. Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development has not authorized anyone to collect money on its behalf. All Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development services are free of charge, except for statutory fees provided for by the law. Verify any communication by contacting info@energy.go.ug. Report any suspected fraud to the Ministry and the relevant law enforcement.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. From the business desk, the State Minister for Minerals, Fiona Nyamtoro, has unveiled a new gold mining and processing plant in Yumbe district, describing the investment as a major step toward unlocking the region's mineral wealth. Owned by a Eurogold refinery, the plant has the capacity to crush up to 6,000 tons of ore a day and produce at least 20 kilograms of gold per week. At the launch, Nyamtoro challenged investors and communities in West Nile to leverage reliable electricity supply to drive mineral processing and value addition. We have a report.
It's a new dawn for gold mining in Yumbe district, with the launch of a gold mining and processing plant expected to boost production and value addition. The Eurogold project has received the backing of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, which says Uganda's mineral resources must be transformed into tangible economic opportunities.
Because we want to see our natural resources birth industrialization, and now with power closer in the region, more reliable, we are certain that many of these developments, such as Eurogold, are going to come up in different parts of the sub-region.
Eurogold founder and director Bernard Fenny says Uganda must move beyond exporting raw minerals and instead harness the resources beneath its soil for industrial development.
Because Uganda has all what it takes. As you can see, as Minister mentioned, gold deposit is in every region in Uganda, but we've just been working on it. We're not now going to work on it, but we're now going to collect it and make and build our nation, build our country, build our society with it.
Fenny outlines the company's investment, vision and commitment to responsible gold mining and value addition.
Eurogold existence here holds a license of up to 79.8 kilometers square, which extends beyond Yumbe district to Terego district. And we have chosen this space specifically as the pioneer to begin our mining. And we have selected here specifically because it is where all other miners, that is, there have been so many artisanal miners, but what Eurogold has done is to bring them all up together so that we can work according to government guidelines. So the processing plant unit will be here, and many all other mines that will be happening under the license will be all brought in the same place so that accountability and traceability will become an easy thing.
For Yumbe district leaders, local content, youth employment and corporate social responsibility will be the key measures of the project's impact on surrounding communities.
As we look at mining gold here, the question of employing the young people, because right now we are talking of 75% of our young people not really in the formal job sector. And the fact that we have Eurogold here, the young people should be employed as a priority, and also the question of corporate social responsibility.
For government and players in the artisanal mining sector, the Yumbe project represents a major milestone in shifting Uganda's mining industry away from raw extraction towards processing, value addition and industrialization.
This marks a major success in Uganda's effort to transition the mining sector from raw extraction to an engine of industrialization.
We should stop making raiding borders fashionable and replace it with what? With mining.
Government says its focus remains on investment promotion, formalization of artisanal miners, expanding value addition and ensuring greater national participation in the mining sector.
We should ensure that as we get into the minerals sector, we abide by the mining laws. As you can witness today, government is committed to supporting those that do the right thing.
The local government minister, Balambar Gahara, has spent the entire Friday in Kasese district running battles with those mismanaging government resources as he continues to crack the whip on the corrupt in the local government.
Local government minister's second day in Rwenzori sub-region began from Hima Trading Center in Kasese district and at Hima Health Center 4. Here the main public concern was about the sale of government medical services.
Nze mchala wange yajja wano nakeberezaako naye tebamuwa mama kiti
wano wenyini kuhereza center 3 ya Hima Town Council.
However, the facility administrators refuted the public accusations.
Honestly, members, I don't think that is a true report about Hima. We have always told our clients that our services are free and everything that we give out from here is supplied by government and we don't sell.
In Kasese district, the minister convened an anti-corruption stakeholders meeting.
This is a presidential directive and we must work hand in hand. Where you go, we shall be following you. Thank you very much for restoring Uganda. We are behind you.
The local government minister was flanked by the former state minister for national guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga Baluku.
I think the biggest corrupt institution is Service Commission. You will get so many testimonies about Service Commission. And all these people, they are not members of of Service Commission.
During this interaction, a section of corrupt-related allegations happening in Kasese districts were raised by locals.
We have gotten very many challenges, very many issues with the District Service Commission, the Kasese District Service Commission. Some of the members are even here who have complaints. They have been extorting money from applicants. You have evidence? We have evidence.
And all were not different from what Minister Balaam had gathered through his undercover scouts.
Tax bank and mass bank, the land is approximately the land was sold by Kasese Municipal Council around 2021 with the guidance of late Tibaihika Tobias, our municipal town clerk. By then, among the buyers was Chamacha John.
For where arrests were needed, Balaam directed the State House Anti-Corruption Unit to carry on that task, and among those who couldn't survive is the assistant RDC. The afternoon field inspections began from Hocha refugee settlements, where residents lamented to Minister Balaam to lobby for them an alternative secure relocation.
This is the team, the issue where land was procured, and I think yes.
Yeah, so I've asked State House Anti-Corruption, but I will also speak to the Prime Minister at the rally.
At Hamukungu Senior Secondary School, the construction works of the school staff quarters and the kitchen were flagged substandard by Minister Balaam, and thus ordering for the arrest of the parties involved to trace accountability.
What happened? You had built half of what you were supposed to build. When I told you I will come, now you have built the remaining one. Who had eaten that money?
Now, yeah, money was not eaten actually. It was built within the internal controls of the contractor and the district.
In a company of locals, Balaam visited Hamukungu Health Center Free and also interacted with the fishing community. In Katwe Kabanyoro, the local government minister inspected the municipal headquarters site, which has for years stood at the foundation level.
So now you, when you look at me in here, you think I've never built? You have ever. So you think I've never built a house in the foundation and I leave it, then I get man and I add? Don't fool me. I'm not fooling you, but...
In the same area, locals pointed at the poor road construction works which are being undertaken by the municipality. The evening stopover in Chisinda Trading Center was for Minister Balaam and his team to grab a bite and a drink. The day ended from this anti-corruption public baravza. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Uganda, are you ready to take your business to the world? This September, the Gateway to International Markets opens in Istanbul, Turkey. From the 15th to the 19th of September 2026, join AFEX 2026, Africa Business Forum and Expo, bringing together Africa and global markets in one dynamic business platform. Meet international buyers, investors, manufacturers, distributors, traders, and business leaders alongside the Global Franchise and Distributorship Expo. Whether you are in textiles, agro-processing, tourism, logistics, ICT, manufacturing, education, mining, FMCG, healthcare, construction, or automotives, AFEX 2026 gives you the opportunity to connect, exhibit, invest, and expand Ugandan exhibitors and business visitors, this is your opportunity to showcase your products, discover new markets, build international partnerships, and take your business beyond borders. And when you're ready to make the journey, travel with Gotavet Tours and Travel, your trusted travel partner for AFEX 2026. Register today through a call or WhatsApp on 0782 556 078 or 0701 556 078. Visit Gotavet Tours and Travel at Plot 3 Parliament Avenue, Rajak Chambers, Wing A, First Floor, Suite F1, 026. AFEX 2026 Istanbul, where Africa meets the world.
Mami!
Wanje sabo.
Ugamotia. Oina kachi. Ha. Kagulinzi tekako. Teka kagulinzi. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limits. Hey, Hemutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food. Put more meat. Add the meat. Yes. Hey. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial *165*5# to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
Thank you for still tuning in. And of course, from the Sports Desk, a 3-day level of Coco Sport Coaching course held at Mukono Bishop East has climaxed with the awarding of certificates to more than 30 participants from across Uganda.
The 3-day training brought together aspiring coaches and sports officials with the aim of strengthening capacity and promoting the growth of Coco in Uganda. The Vice President of Coco Uganda, Robert Sozi, challenged the newly certified coaches to become good ambassadors of the sport, warning that poor game management could undermine the objectives and development of Coco.
These trainings for the referees and the coaches, our target is to build a strong team that is going to help us develop the sport in the different regions at the same time, nurturing and identifying the talents.
Sharon Oroma, the Vice Technical Director of Coco Uganda, says the training is expected to address some of the challenges that have hindered the growth of the sport in the country.
The skills obtained in this training, basically they were the basic rules of Coco, how to give call in Coco, how to defend in Coco, or how to be an attacker in Coco. Basically, we teach these coaches more of the skills to go and train more players in schools, communities, and clubs to be.
Cyrus Semuhara, the host of the event and Mukono Municipality Sports Officer, emphasized the importance of such courses in building a strong foundation for the sport through qualified personnel.
After this course, we expect these coaches to go and do the real work as professionals. It's not just about participating, but they want professional activities, professional sport. People should earn money out of this sport.
The training is the first Level 1 coaching course in Uganda, following the recently concluded Level 1 referee course.
The morale to take on Coco. I saw in the first place when they brought an introduction to our region by Ntsibuka Enoch. I saw it as an interesting game, doesn't require much.
Organizers say continued training of certified officials will be key to expanding Coco and improving its management across the country.
Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. You can join me once again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. Bye-bye.